Oh wow, that's bad. Here we go. All right, guys, welcome to what's today?
Today is the Lord
No, what's today? Today's day 9, or
5, 6, 7.
I think.
Technically, seven
Well,
count, 7 business
yes,
days.
we're on day 10 of the challenge, guys. Day 10 of the challenge. As always, my name is Luis Cruz, and today we are in a different scenario. I am actually at a vacation rental with my fam, and I actually have my twin guys. We're called the Vision Twins.
Don't mind my hair. Oh my
Got my
God.
partner in crime right here, co-founder of Vision Twins Academy. Vision Twins Academy for sales and marketing, guys. I mean, we're about to make a lot of you guys a lot of money. So, Mike, hey, do you think you can man the live and tell me who's commenting with any questions?
I think it might be able to slide that in.
All right.
Okay.
All right, guys. So yesterday we talked about branding. All right, we talked about the importance of branding. I see that a lot of you guys are going live in the groups and being engaged. Um, yes, we have some great prizes. I'm not saying for you guys to do the homework for the prizes, but the prizes are pretty rad. So go ahead and keep on catching up with the units for those of you guys who need to catch up. Um, so yeah, today we are gonna jump into today's training. I'm sorry, guys, that there's a reflection in the back off of that TV. But today we are going to be talking about deciphering your target audience to create a buyer persona. So last week we talked about the who. So this is going to be like a who times two. That rhymes. There's going to be like a who times two, like getting really. I mean that if you guys think that deep dive into your who worksheet was deep, like this is it's going to be fun. So we're going to go ahead and get started, guys. So uh, did you guys know that 56% of consumers believe that businesses need to have a deeper understanding of their needs? That I pulled up that stat and I want you to think about how heavy it is, okay? 56% of consumers that spend billions and trillions of dollars every year are buying products from companies that they don't even feel address their needs. Like,
That's nuts.
that's nuts, right?
I'm
Like,
gonna go buy this shirt, but they don't get me though.
exactly, literally, that's what this statistic is saying is I'm gonna go buy this shirt, but I don't believe they get me, but I'm gonna buy it just because they branded that
You don't
good.
even care about my feelings, but I'm gonna pay you though.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
Gonna pay you, though.
So that's a powerful statistic. But what does that say? Consumers want personalization. They want to buy from companies who really present a product or service, or simply, and if the product or service may not even need to address their need, how you market it needs to address their need. Okay, so the main question we're going to be discussing today is who are you targeting through your social media marketing? Okay, so what is a target audience? We've discussed the who. Your who is your target audience. Okay, the definition of target audience is a group of people defined by certain demographics and behaviors. Guys, hold on. Let me see if I can like. How do I?
Like split screen it so you can look both at the same time.
Yeah, I want to be able to see myself.
So hit this. Is there like a square on the top right?
Okay, here we
There you
go.
go.
Much better.
Hey, see, I'm
Because
here.
I want to see my notes
Hey.
while I'm looking at myself, making sure I don't look stupid. So, target audience, guys, is a group of people defined by certain demographics and behaviors. The importance of understanding your target audience. The reason why it's important to know your who, the reason why it's important to understand the characteristics of a target audience is by having a target audience, you can have a target marketing approach. A marketing approach means you have a strategy that's defined to your target audience. You're able to catch attention easier because in the world of the internet where there's a lot of noise, if you can zoom in to your target audience, then the only people who's going to hear you are the people who you want to hear you. So it's easier to catch their attention. You save money because once we get into Facebook ads training and we explain the lesson about Facebook ads, it's going to cost you way less money to get leads and get traffic and engagement when only the people who are actually interested in it. So it's going to save you money. It's going to give you high quality leads because you're only working with your who, and you're able to keep attention once you have grabbed it. So those are some of the important reasons why you need to understand your target audience. Um, 51% of consumers believe that brands send too much irrelevant content. Like, so we've discussed that consumers want personalization in their marketing, and they're tired of getting stuff that has nothing to do with them, aka spam. When you don't have a target audience, when you don't have a who, you sound super spammy because everybody's seeing your content like, well, who are they talking to? They're not talking to me, and I'm getting annoyed of watching their content. If you don't know who you're talking to, it's going to be irrelevant. It's going to be spammy. You're not going to have a loyal following. You're going to get angry customers. Okay. So let's break down target audience. The lesson is called deciphering. Let's start deciphering. Some of the demographic factors in target audience, the factors that it's broken down into is gender, age, location, education, profession, income, and marital status. Okay. For those of you guys taking notes, I'll say one more time. Target audience demographic factors, some of them is gender, age, location, education, profession, income, and marital status. Those are some of the target audience demographic factors. So when we're talking about segmenting your target audience, you want to segment into categories. These are some of the categories, that the basic categories that you can talk about when it comes to demographics. Now, there's another category called psychographic. Psychographic has to do with behaviors. So, some of those factors talks about personality, the person's lifestyle, their opinions and their attitudes, and their interests and their hobbies. So, the first level is going to be the demographic. Second level is going to be psychographic. Alrighty. So yesterday I mentioned that some of the things that you should do before you start developing your brand is to do some market research. So a lot of people feel like, well, I have no idea what the gender is. I don't know what the age range of my target audience is. I don't know what their hobby is. Okay, so find someone that's similar to you. Find a company that's similar to you. Study their product because you can actually identify an audience through the product. So you can ask your questions like, what is your product or service? Why would someone want your product or service? What are the features of the product or service? What are the benefits of each feature? Who will benefit from this and why? And how niche is your product or service? So in an example, if you're selling electronics and or let's say you're coming up with a TV brand, you have no idea who your audience is. So go to Samsung, see who's buying Samsungs. Most likely, if someone's buying Samsung TVs, then they're a good candidate to buy your brand TV. You identify the audience through the product. Okay, and there's actually ways. And then when we launch our academy, we're going to be showing you guys that you can actually hack into your competitors' websites and like kind of track. You can literally hack into a person's website legally and see the demographic information of the traffic to that website. So you already know, well, this is the demographics of the people visiting this website, and they're my competition, and that's a good place to start. Alrighty. So we talked about demographics, we talked about psychographics. Now we're going to talk about identifying your audience through generations, as in age ranges. So you have your baby boomers, okay? Baby boomers are between the ages of 54 and 72. You have Generation X, which is between the ages of 38 and 53. Millennials, ages 22 to 37. And then you have Generation Z, between the ages of 0 and 21. So it's really important to study these age ranges because each group of people that fall in within these age ranges have different different buying behaviors. They have different expectations. They have different methods that you should be marketing to them. So we're going to be breaking down each age range. So let's start off with baby boomers, guys. Baby boomers are nicknamed the silver surfers. Silver surfers. And the reason why they're called silver surfers is because, believe it or not, baby boomers spend a lot of time on Facebook.
That sounds like a Marvel superhero.
It is actually.
Silver Surfer.
No, it actually is.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, from Fantastic Four. The Silver Surfer.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but old people spend a lot of time on Facebook, guys. The statistics show it. They mainly use social media for communication and research. They spend about an hour and 12 minutes a day on social media. And baby boomers, the only reason why they're on Facebook is to share content. Like my grandmother, all she does is share things and she tags herself in the post so she doesn't forget what the post is. So like instead of like marking it, she just tags herself so it can show up on her feed and she can go back and find it. But that's all she does. My aunt, all she does is share stuff. They don't make posts, they don't comment, they simply share things. So that's what baby boomers tend to do. They're just sharing funny videos, they're sharing recipes, they're sharing DIY craft videos, and they're big time anti-spam. So if you have a product or service that is you're wanting to market to the baby boomer age range, do not sound spammy. They'll probably report you. Like they will, not even probably, they will report you. Okay. So that's the baby boomers. How to target baby boomers. All right. This is really cool, guys. I'm really going to be telling you how to target each group age range. Okay. So with baby boomers, when you want to target baby boomers, the things that are important to them is brand loyalty. Okay. They want to, so you got to find a way to connect your brand with something that's been around for a long time. You know, baby boomers are the ones that hear, I've been going to the same barber for 40 years. I've been going to the same grocery store for 50 years. I've never gone anywhere else to get my oil change. They're all about brand loyalty. So connect yourself to something that's been here as probably as long as they have to target baby boomers.
The Social Security office.
Exactly. Believe it or not, baby boomers love to be upsold. Why? Because if they're seeing a product and you give them an option to buy something more expensive at this age, they feel like they want to be ballers and they're most likely retired and they're looking to start like living it up. Upsell is huge with baby boomers. Reward programs, guys, coupons, reward points. Why do you think old people love Walgreens? They have a great reward point system. I love Walgreens. I get a lot of stuff there.
The frozen yogurt stamps.
Yeah, like Racetrack is genius. Like they give you those little frozen yogurt things to be for, and I think it's like every 6 1 is free. And like older people are obsessed with that. Like, oh my gosh, they grab the coupons. They want that free sandwich. They want that free frozen yogurt. So if you can implement a reward system with your product or service, that'll be huge with baby boomers. Tactical advertising, like I said, they're huge on anti-spam. So you have to be tactical and you must have a strategy. And Mikey, my twin, is going to be going over content strategy on how to get their attention without seeming spammy. And because they're spending a lot of time on the internet, old people love online sales now. Like they like old people don't like going to the stores anymore because they want to feel like they're in and everything is just Amazon. Everything is online sales.
And it's easier for them to compare prices, which comes down to the whole discount and they want to feel like they're getting a deal.
Exactly. So now the next age is Generation X. Generation X is between the ages of 38 and 53. People in this age range are a lot of times in business leadership and entrepreneurs. These are the people that like they're close to retiring. They're probably having grandkids for the first time. They feel like, okay, I've hit my peak around this time, and you want to touch on that point. Okay, this generation spends roughly 2 hours on social media a day. They use it to connect and research. And this generation is anti advertising. So with Generation X, you can run ads, but with this generation, it's actually more effective if you create a Facebook page and have a really solid content strategy, because they're all about research. So if you can provide value, if you can show that you're an expert in your field and constantly post out content, instead of them feeling like, oh, this is just some spammy ad, they're going to see you posting, they're going to read your stuff, and that's how you're going to get them to buy. They're non-experimental. They like things black and white by the book, and they love Facebook. So how to target Generation X, like I said, coupons and discounts. They want to save a buck or two. They're, like I said, they're close to retirement. They want to start saving up money. They want to make sure that they can live life hard when they actually enter retirement. Brand information. This is where branding is important. Like I said yesterday, brand consistency If you have a solid brand consistency and you're sending the same information, where once they start doing research on your brand, they see the same information all across, that's going to be a really good way to target this generation. Use age and lifestyle milestones. Like I said, a lifestyle milestone is maybe they finally, a lot of people in this time, they've been working in a corporate job for a long time. They got the job that they wanted, or they did get their first grandkid, or, they finally got that new sports car. They finally got their dream house. And this is where market research and discovery, and we're going to be talking a little bit later about pirate personas. This is why it's important to do research on your who. They're all about privacy concerns. It is very hard to get someone in Generation X to give you an email address for the sake of privacy, and they're afraid of being spammed. So you got to have really good hooks. I mean, really, really good hooks for them to give you information. And they're big on word of mouth. If you're doing network marketing, this is the generation you want to target, because they're all about word of mouth, and word of mouth is the fastest way to grow network marketing. All right, so let's talk about millennials. This is the generation I fall in, between the ages of 1981 and 1996. These are the first digital natives, so which means that we were born into technology. We were the first generation born into technology. Millennials spend an average of about 2 hours and 45 minutes a day on social media. We're in our prime earning years. So if your niche is, for instance, Nikki, I know this Forex. If your niche is entrepreneurs, this is the generation you want to attack, because they're like in that mindset of, we want to make money. We're in that age range where this is the time for us to make money. So if your niche is entrepreneurship, if your niche is Forex, if your niche is network marketing, if your niche is anything that can make your audience money, that's the generation you want to attack. Millennials love to build a relationship with their brands. We discussed this yesterday with Nike and Jordan. They don't like traditional advertising. So, like I said, Facebook ads would work really great with millennials. You don't want to do paper ads. You don't want to do like snail mail. You really don't. I mean, email works, but if they're spending almost 3 hours a day on Facebook, then advertise to them on Facebook. And millennials are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. And we're going to talk about that in one of the courses that we're going to have in the academy, is the strengths and the weaknesses of each platform. And there's 100% different ways to market. Like, you cannot market on Instagram the same way you market on Facebook, and you cannot market the same way on Facebook than you can on Twitter or YouTube. The academy, we're going to be having courses that go deep into each platform. How to target millennials, you got to be innovative. We see everything. Since we're on the internet a lot, we see a lot of crazy stuff. So in order for you to catch our attention and stop that scroll, you need to be creative and innovative. Gather reviews. Millennials, the first, like, I know for a fact, for me, anytime I go to buy anything on Amazon, before I read anything, the first thing I click is reviews. I switch it to most relevant, and I read where the most recent reviews. You can tell when reviews are fake too, guys. So be careful that you're not like hiring people for reviews, because you can definitely tell when they're authentic, and you can tell when it's someone being paid to do a review. Incentivize, give an incentive. Affiliate marketing. Like, if you're gonna do like a member website, or if you have a product, like, do an affiliate program. Say, hey, for every person you get to buy my product or sign up for my service, I'll give you a 10% commission. Millennials love that. Another thing, like I said, I'm just throwing little tidbits because we haven't officially announced yet, but just to kind of plant some ideas in your head, our academy is going to be having an affiliate program where you guys can make money by referring people to the academy. So millennials love that. They love loyalty programs, and believe it or not, they love podcasts, because millennials are always on the road. So in the content marketing training that we're going to do with Mike, we're going to talk about how you can take one piece of content and spread it across multiple platforms. Podcasts are really famous with millennials because they're always out and about, so they're listening to it on their phone, they're listening to it in the car. All right, so let's talk about Generation Z. This is the new latest generation. They're fully fledged digital natives.
They're constantly misdiagnosed millennials.
Yes, they are constantly misdiagnosed. So, like, if you're a teenager right now, you're not a millennial. Like, I know a lot of people have that misconception that, oh, they see teenagers, oh, these damn millennials. They're not millennials. Okay, they're like anybody born after 1997 is not a millennial. It's
96.
97. Exactly starting from
Oh yeah,
1997.
yeah.
Yeah. Generation Z, this is what they're called. They're experimental on social media. So Generation Z are the people that are doing the crazy stuff. They're experimenting on social media. They're all about getting YouTube famous. They're all about getting Instagram famous. They spend almost 3 hours a day on social media. Uh, Generation Z is a lot more active on Snapchat. Um, they have an omni-channel approach, means more than one. So with Generation Z, you want to get them on all the platforms. Remember, we discussed yesterday that it takes 5 to 7 impressions before someone even notices your brand. Well, you got to be able to be posting across all channels with them. They have really short attention spans, so you have to stop that scroll hard. They're great multitaskers, and they're all about society and environmental concerns. So Generation Z is the one that, even though they've been here for 5 minutes, they want to stop world hunger. That's Generation Z. So the way you market to Generation Z is brand story. We talked about telling an emotional story. If you have a brand that has like a super cool story, just for the fact of you having a cool story, they're most likely going to buy from you. That's how they work. That's how they're wired. Using influencers is really big with them. So find local celebrities, find people that this generation looks up to, and if you can somehow manage to get in with an influencer or do some kind of work for an influencer, that's going to get you in huge with this generation. They like interactive content, cut out the fluff. So they like things black and white, and get your tech right. So we talked about yesterday making sure that your brands, your logos, and everything is across the board consistent, where nothing's are cut off. Make sure that's right. Depending on what your business is, if you can develop an app, Generation Z will eat it up, and you can find app developers. So anything that's tech savvy is going to resonate with them. So let's break down a little bit the usage of these different generations and which platforms they're using. So YouTube is 89% Generation Z, 88% Millennials, 84% Generation X, and 73% of baby boomers. Facebook, the highest users are Millennials, 83%. The next two are Generation Z and X, and then baby boomers at 69. With Instagram, Generation Z is at 74% usage, and everybody else falls down. So millennials, Generation X, and baby boomers are all like 60% and under. So like I said, if you're looking to target millennials, then you need to target YouTube and you need to target Facebook, where they're at 88 and 83 compared to 66 and 67 that Instagram, and then on Twitter, um, everybody's pretty low. So like I said, we'll be going deeper into those topics in our academy. Alrighty. So now let's talk about how we can use these demographic factors, age factors, and psychographic factors to develop our buyer persona. What am I looking at on time? How long have I been live?
You've been alive for
about 23 minutes. Okay, we're making good time. This is going to be a pretty short training. All right, so a buyer persona, guys. Buyer persona is literally what's going to make you guys rich. If you can understand the concept of buyer personas and learn how to establish individual buyer, we're going to start off with teaching you how to just do one, and I'm only going to expect you guys to do one. But once you continue to grow this, if you can have multiple buyer personas and have one for each campaign, and you're running multiple campaigns to different buyer personas and just getting really quality leads, like, you guys are going to make money. So a buyer persona is a semi-fictional representation of your ideal customer based on market research and real data about your existing customer. Okay, so why is buyer personas important? The development of a buyer persona important is, number one, if you have a buyer persona, you're going to have an informed marketing strategy. You know exactly what to post, when to post, and how to post it. You know your content, you know what they like, you know what they don't like, you know what resonates with them, you know what motivates them. Customer centricity. We mentioned earlier that consumers feel like brands and companies are sending too much irrelevant content. Well, if you have a buyer persona, you know exactly who you're marketing to, then you can put your content to them, and it makes them feel like they're at the center of attention, which then translates to high quality leads, which then leads to globalization. All right, guys. So what are the different elements? And I'm actually going to be posting this in the unit tab for this training. Um, I'm going to list off all the elements. So when I say elements of a buyer persona, we've talked about who, and there's kind of like a general rule of thumb that you should be 7 levels deep in your who, like to niche down. 7 is a very conservative number. To create a buyer persona, there's about 20. Okay, and I'm going to read them off real quick. Elements of a buyer persona is name, age, gender, education, occupation, average income, marital status, product adoption group, personality traits, bio, social media activities, lifestyle, hobbies and interests, challenges, goals, motivators, deterrents, platforms, devices, content, brands, and buyer journey. So last week we mentioned buyer journey, guys. Each buyer persona has their own journey. So the journey follows the same basic concept, and you want to get their attention, you want to teach them, you want them to learn who you are, lead to the sale and then maintenance. But each buyer persona can have an individual journey, okay? Because each buyer persona has a different need or want, so the journey might start off in different places, okay? So uh, those are all the different elements of a buyer persona. So I'm going to share my screen real quick, and Mikey's going to make sure that you guys can see it. Let's see here, share.
Remember, there's a lag of like 40 seconds. So,
Oh, for real?
so if you switch it so you can see it, you're gonna have to wait 40 seconds for me to see it.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna trust myself. Share screen, and I want you guys to see an example of, and this specific thing that you guys are looking at is exactly what I'm going to be uploading to the unit. This is an example of what a buyer persona looks like. So this is Determined Dave. Determined Dave is 29 years old. He's a male. He has a bachelor's in communications, a bachelor's of communications and marketing. He works as a junior marketing manager, makes 82 grand a year. He's engaged. He has a sense of humor. He's intelligent, motivated, passionate. Wakes up, Facebook, bus train to work, YouTube and Spotify on his way to work. Works, and then goes to the gym. Then he goes home, jumps on Instagram and Netflix, spends weekends with friends. This is the buy. You want to know what does your ideal customer's life look like, which is why it's important to know hobbies, social media activity, lifestyle. He's active, gyms, he hikes, and he's a vegan. Hobbies and interests. He's a tech guy. He loves gaming. He loves sports. He loves photography, music, hiking.
You can see the screen.
Okay. Challenges. He's concerning about the position in life. At the age of 29, he's thinking about settling down. So he's engaged, which means he's in the process of getting married, which means he's probably thinking about having kids. And because he's thinking about having kids, he's thinking about supporting a family. Goals: start his own marketing agency, travel the world, buy a house. Motivators: upskill, change jobs, start own company. Deterrents: cost, time, access to internet. Platforms: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Devices: mobile, desktop. Content: he loves video, he loves long form content, he likes Apple, ESPN, National Geographic, and his buyer journey is awareness, necessity, consideration, purchase, and retention. Okay, guys, take a look at this.
Take a deep breath.
Yeah, that was a lot for me to read. Every single one of you should have a buyer persona. And we talked about this yesterday when it comes to branding. I think it was last week, where like, this is Dave. So anybody who falls in any of these categories is Dave. But you can have more than one buyer persona, so you can market to them different ways. All right. And the reason why buyer personas are so powerful is because now you know everything about them. You know what motivates them. You know what triggers them. You know how they live. So, now we get into buyer persona research, and you're looking to data analysis. You're doing a market research. You're looking at what they're buying. And we're going to be talking about market discovery later on, and kind of using the internet to find out where these people are hanging out on the internet. But one topic I want to get into is Myers-Briggs. Okay, so Myers-Briggs personality is. I'm going to be putting the link in the unit section. And the reason why this is cool, because there's 16, according to the Myers-Briggs table, there's 16 different personality types. Okay, and there's 4 main sections. You have analysts, you have sentinels, diplomats, and explorers. Actually, let me share my screen. I want you guys to see this. This is a little bit more of a visual training today. I'm going to be sharing this in the units. I'm going to be posting a link so you guys can see it. But there's 4 different personality groups. You have analysts, diplomats, explorers, and sentinels, okay? And the reason why it's really important to learn these is because if you know everything about your buyer persona, you can look at the characteristics and the attributes, and based off of that analysis, based off of that research, you can then go to Myers-Briggs and kind of guesstimate and get a pretty solid idea of what kind of personality traits, what kind of personality they have. And in the link that I'm sending you guys, you can click on each personality type and it gives you everything. It literally gives you what kind of relationships they tend to be in, what kind of friends they usually have. It gives you a breakdown of everything about. So if you can narrow down your who, if you can develop a buyer persona where you know all the attributes, then you go on to Myers-Briggs and you learn about that personality type and what they are all about. Now, once again, we're talking about this because this is all leading up to content marketing. If you can develop content to them where it only attracts to an analyst, it only attracts to a diplomat that is like specific to them, okay, it's gonna be powerful because you're taking them on a journey that's to them. Like, it's imagine walking to a crowd of people and you pick out a specific who and you grab them, okay, and you say, hey, I'm going to take you on a journey. And now you're taking them on a journey, and along the way, you're showing them things that are important to them, okay? That person's going to feel engaged. He's going to feel, he or she, they're going to feel like involved. They're going to feel immersed. Like, wow, you guys are speaking my language. These are all things that are important to me. And marketing, guys, marketing, a lot of people really think it's just about getting a hook and creating an offer. Like, no, we are going to be talking about how to create an offer, but it's not just that. There's a guru out there, and I'm not going to say his name, but his name rhymes with Bustle Bunsen, and he was talking about like everything about marketing is hook, story, offer. Get a hook, tell a story, present the offer. I'm like, yeah, that's true on the top, but there's a lot more to that because you can't create a hook if you don't know anything about the person. You have to create a foundational knowledge first, which is the ideology that the Vision Twins are all about. We're tired of people teaching marketing that like, oh, just use this script and follow this pitch and you'll be good. Like, no, we want our students to understand that there is just the same way a buyer has a buyer journey, every marketer, every business owner has a business journey. You have to learn the foundation. Become your customer. Be aware of their problems. Like, actually care. A lot of companies like, oh, we don't really care about their problems. Like, we care because we're trying to figure out how to do a product. But like, guys, actually care. Like, actually give a damn. Like, really care about your customers' problems and their needs. Like, find out what they want. And you do that with the market research by developing a buyer persona about really thinking about like, man, if I was 29 years old and I didn't have kids, how would I feel? For those of you guys who are a little bit older and already have kids, if you were 29 years old and you hadn't had kids already, like, what would you be thinking? Like, dang, I need to start settling down. Dang, I need to find a woman to settle down with. I need to find a man to settle down with, or whatever floats your boat. But you imagine if you have a service that helps single moms find a good, like, how to teach single moms how to get like how to find a good man. You imagine if you were kind of some kind of relationship coach, and you have a buyer persona, and like, hey, you can come out with a challenge, you can come out with a course that's so specific to every, like, the main focus is one challenge, but because you know all the other attributes and all the other hobbies, you can include all those after they sign up or after they purchase. It's powerful stuff. So I'm actually going to go ahead and start landing the plane. Shortest training so far, 34 minutes. But guys, like, I didn't want to go too deep because this is a super, super deep topic. I could talk about it for hours, but I'm not going to. Like I mentioned, this challenge is kind of giving a basic overview. And once we launch the academy, we're going to be launching with basic level courses. And then as time goes by, we're going to add intermediate, we're going to add expert, proficient. Like, we're going to add more in-depth for social media and digital marketing. So If that's something that you guys really want to dive into and really become proficient, then at the end of the challenge, we'll be announcing our offer. But guys, today's homework is I want you guys to go onto Briar's Mix. I'm gonna put the link, and the personality test is about 12 minutes. Take the personality test. Kate Donovan on Friday dropped a link for a worksheet that helps you show you your values. Now take this when learning personality, because why is this important? First of all, if you know your personality and you feel like you want to do business with people who are just like you, then you got to know who you are first. So take the personality test, see what category you fall under, and now you say, okay, well, based off of this personality, let me go fill in my buyer persona with information and factors that are associated with this personality type. But if you know your niche and you know who you want to target to, then now you can take your personality, okay, and you can print out your personality and how you are and print out the personality of your niche, of your target audience, your ideal customer, have them side by side and find a way to make a connection. It only takes one connection. If you get one connection and really make that connection emotional, then you're in. So take the test, have your results, pick the personality of the customer you want to connect with, find one way to connect, and start building that buyer persona. Okay, so I'm going to be putting in the unit section a list of all the elements that make up a buyer persona, all the elements that make up how to put it together. I want you guys to start working on your buyer persona. I want you to take the who worksheet and use that as a starting point to start filling in the information and just really think about this. If you can get this buyer persona nailed down, I promise you, you're going to start making money instantly because you're going to know exactly how to sell it to them. So that's a nice homework. Go live.
Lisa had a question earlier in the chat, and I told her I'd answer it
Okay.
once you're done.
Yes.
So Lisa, I don't know if you can hear me. Oh my gosh, she's putting the camera towards me, guys. I am not ready for this. She said,
okay. Hold on.
I'm caught. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's probably better covering my face. Here, I'll just go over here with you. Her question was, I'm caught between the baby boomer and the next phase. So pretty much, what if you're borderline? So like, let's say
just do 2 campaigns.
Well, that too.
You don't want to mix it.
That was the first thing. You know, if your target audience is borderline, like you said, like my brother said, number 1, 2 ad campaigns, or 2. Because it's definitely possible. Like me and my brother are millennials, but we can definitely share some characteristics with Generation Z or the generation before if it's borderline, that transition year period. So like my brother literally.
Just get the 2 personalities.
Find the one thing, find the factor
or they share.
Or if you have a borderline group, find out if they're asking the same question. Because remember, at the end of the day, you're answering a question when you're solving something.
And he's going to be going over that in the market discovery.
So see if you can find, if it's borderline, see if they're asking the same question. See if they're asking for the same solution to the same problem. Then you don't have to worry about the quote unquote all the characteristic differences because you're answering the same question.
Let me actually build onto that. Guys, that's powerful what he just said. And just think about this. You can have a Generation Z 15-year-old and you can have a 65-year-old baby boomer. But if they're asking the same question and they want the same result for that specific thing,
don't worry about the characteristics.
Don't worry about the characteristics because also the bandwagon effect. If it's just psychology, if a group of people have the same desire to asking the same question and want the same thing, they can care less about what their background is. They're going to work together to get the same result. So if a 15-year-old is wanting to answer to a specific question and this 65-year-old says, hey, I'm asking the same question, those two are going to team up and say, we want answers. We want answers. So Mikey laid it out perfectly for Lisa and for anybody who has that same question. If you have a niche that's borderline, you can either do 2 different campaigns. So that way you can send distinct messages, or you're going to have to do your homework. You're going to have to do some market research, get some information on your data analysis, find a question. And Mikey's going to do that. We're going to be teaching you guys how to use the internet to find out what questions people are asking for that reason. And you just find a way to connect it, bring the 2 generations together. Is there any other questions?
I'm interested in seeing how Nikki, I can't wait to see how much you take. I did the Myers a year ago. Nikki said she did the Myers-Briggs years ago, and she's excited to see if she's changed or not. Lisa said, "Okay, cool. Buyer persona, no target audience. Guess I have more work to do." Nikki said, "Hi, Mikey. You have two personalities. Laugh out loud. Okay, that makes sense. Market discovery, nice. Twin personalities. We got answers. Okay." Let me tell you, I love Nikki and Lisa because they low key make the comment feed hype.
Yeah,
I love
you
their
guys are great.
personalities.
And let me tell you something, like, you know, we're doing this challenge kind of as of a discovery research of our own. Believe it or not, like, you guys are our test run. We did this challenge because we really wanted to see if our niche would pop out. And yeah, we were discussing, and we definitely feel like we want to be working with people like Lisa and like Nikki. You guys are great. We definitely,
every customer was like Nikki and Lisa, we'd be rich.
Yeah, honestly, like we're realizing that we have a soft spot for startups, for people who are like, they don't have a business yet and they want to start up, or they barely started. We feel like that's definitely our soft spot. That's the route we want to take. Guys, this academy that we're going to be launching, if you guys are liking this training, this is like basic overview. Like, we are going to be going in depth in our courses, and we're going to be adding courses over time. It's going to be a lot of really, really good content. So whoever's the grand prize winner is going to get lifetime access to that, but we're going to be still cutting a really good offer for you guys. But that's it, guys. That's the homework. Start working on your buyer persona. I'm going to upload the 2 files so you guys can have an example of what a buyer persona should look like, the elements. I'm going to put the link for the Myers-Briggs. Start, take the test. It takes about 12 minutes. Start doing research on your who, what kind of personality they have, and just kind of start creating that picture. So let me remind myself what tomorrow's topic is. Here, let me go to the announcement section. Tomorrow we're going to be back at 8 o'clock. Okay, today was market discovery and research. Okay, cool. So tomorrow, Mikey, I'll be the side voice. So today he was like the side voice. Tomorrow I'm going to be the side voice. You guys are...
And you get to look at the less better looking twin.
Exactly. So you guys have been looking at me for a while. So now we're going to get Mikey on board. He hasn't gone here since last week, but he's going to be talking about market discovery and research. And basically what we're going to be teaching is how to find out what people are talking about, how to discover what questions and what topics your audience is wanting to talk about, and how to find them, like how to find the social hangouts on the internet. Okay. So that's gonna be tomorrow, 8 o'clock. Do your homework, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Guys, if you have any questions, just post them in the group or go live and tag us in the post with a question that you have. If we're really busy this week getting this, like doing this challenge and getting the website up, the academy up. But if, you know, just tag us, and if we can take a minute or two throughout the day and go live to answer the question, we'll try our best. No promises. But also you guys can interact with each other and help you guys, like help each other, you know, learn this a little bit better. So we're having a lot of fun with you guys. We're loving this challenge, and we're excited to finish this week off strong. So hey, Mike, can you give us a salute?
A salute?
Yeah, boy.
I'm looking busted,
no,
guys.
I need you.
But tomorrow I'm gonna be putting my gel on. I'm gonna be putting my good clothes on, aka some that are iron, because I'm on vacation, so I'm on lay back mode all day, every day. But I promise you guys, tomorrow I'm gonna be as hype as I am right now. I know the first time I was kind of like formal, and my brother's like, dude, that is not you. Don't ever do that again.
I was so mad.
And he was so mad at me. He's like, that was so boring. Like, you're like energetic and charismatic. So I'm gonna need you to do that. So tomorrow, hold on to your shoes. And if you're not wearing shoes, hold on to your toes. And if you don't got no toes, I'll pray for you, but we're gonna figure something out. We love you guys. We're super happy that you guys are interacting. We're happy that we're investing in you guys, because at the end of the day, that is our goal. We don't care. It's not about the money for us. It's not about the fame. It's we genuinely want to invest in you guys and see you guys grow. So we love you. I am starving, and my mom has pork chops out there. So I'm going to see you guys
tomorrow, 8 o'clock, market discovery and research. Go live and do your homeworks. God bless.